Good morning, everyone. We have a very special guest with us this morning on the Lumina Massage channel. Say hello, Mark.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Hey, thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Sure.
The reason why I wanted to bring Mark on is because he also works as a massage therapist, but I recently read an article that was featured in Massage Magazine about Mark's journey as a massage therapist and how he kind of came to be in this place right now and what really fuels him in terms of helping other massage therapists. So we're going to explore that. And Mark, would you mind just letting us know a little bit about you, where you studied, where you're located, because you're not in Florida like me,
Right.
and
Nope.
just, yeah, share a little bit about your credentials, your professional background, so everyone can know.
Sure. Yeah, so I started massage back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth a long, long time ago. So I'm about, 30 years-ish in.
Mm,
So back then, it was more about, there was no licensing, and it was more about what you wanted to know. You didn't have the guardrails. So for me, I got certified and I went and I worked for a chiropractor, because that's where a lot of people 20, 30 years ago will cut your teeth in a chiropractor's office, just because they were where we were in Pennsylvania, they were billing insurance illegally, or in that hazy gray area, but they could
yeah.
afford massage therapists to work for them. So the massage therapist or the chiropractor kept throwing body parts at me. So there was, I would get a neck, I'd get a back or an ankle. And I didn't feel like I was equipped to deal with helping the person. So I wanted to investigate another type of massage. So I asked the chiropractor if he would support me in studying neuromuscular massage therapy. So he said he would, and he paid for 80% of it, which was pretty good. So I went through the St. John's neuromuscular training, and I became a certified St. John's neuromuscular massage therapist. And I really loved it because it was very anatomically oriented. So that was sort of how my mind thought. And so it was really helpful to me. And that was the basis of my launching my massage business. And now at this point, I am not a neuromuscular therapist that follows the book. Like all of us, we bring in a lot of different things into our philosophy and methodology. And that's where I'm at right now. So I appreciate the NMT. I do use a lot of the basic material in there, but I don't necessarily follow their methodology now at this point. So that was my basic part of massage was pain relief. That was my focus. And then as I did more massage, I started to injure my body. But before I get into that, where I'm located, I'm west of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm in a suburb. I'm in a small town called Phoenixville. And it's an old steel town. We love it here. So my business is in Phoenixville, and we have another office in a town called Berwyn, just east of here, maybe like 10 miles east of here. So
Yeah.
that's where we're located.
Okay. Yeah. I've never been to your side of town, so I'm assuming it's very cold there right now.
It's pretty cold. Yeah, I always put the jacket on, going, it'd be nice to be in Miami now.
Yes, it is. The weather is pretty stunning. So we're filming this in November. So let's transition into your story about being in pain. So when I read your article, I one of the things that really stood out to me is the vulnerability factor. And right now, what's becoming more popular, it's not quite there yet because it's a little bit scary, right? To put yourself out there and say, hey, I was injured, or I don't know if it is for you, but for a lot of people that are kind of coming from a place of an authority figure or a teaching standpoint in any type of industry, the vulnerability factor is really refreshing, and it's something that more and more speakers and writers and authors and just people in general that influence a certain industry, that they're just being open with. Or you could just be a regular person too. You don't have to be at that, high level platform. But in the past, when we've thought about, oh my gosh, like I never thought about asking any of my teachers or anything, do you struggle with anything? Especially given the career that I was going to study. So I loved the article because you opened up about something that many massage therapists struggle with. Many massage therapists leave the industry about. You mentioned that you're in it for 30 years. The average lifespan for massage therapy is about 5 to 8 years. I think 8 years is even pushing it. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really appreciated the fact that you were so open and you were willing to share your story. But what excites me the most is that you came out of the other side and you've been able to practice and continue to help people and grow your practice in your business. And that can give a lot of therapists that are either in pain or think, well, I just, I can't do this. So talk to me a little bit about that, how you came to that point in your career, what emotions you were going through, how you made that transition, and then eventually the discovery of how to work to the point where you could continue.
I First of all, thank you for saying all those nice things. I appreciate that. The vulnerability part is, I think you just come down to, well, I think it's twofold for me. One is you just come down to the point where, at the end of the day, it's you're looking at yourself going, okay, here's where I'm at, right? And how do I get to the next spot? Well, you can't get to the next spot by lying to yourself or pretending. And also, my wife is really good at just keeping me real. so, so that the combination of those two things sort of helped me just find the path, which was, okay, here's where I'm at. I have two options. Basically, I can try to figure out how to massage in a way that doesn't hurt my body, or I can quit massage and look for a different job, a different career. And I do not like working for other people. I'm not hireable like many of us in the massage field. And that was appalling, the thought of working for someone else. So that's why I put all my efforts into trying to figure it out. At the time, I was really nervous because everything depended on my ability to do massage. We had some other income streams coming in, but that was still my sole, at the time, my sole income stream. So this was a big thing. And one other thing too is that I'm not really, like, you did the pain threshold tolerance. I'm not stoic. I don't have a high pain threshold. So I had that going on too. I don't think I'm wimpy, but I'm not going to say that I'm stoic or, like my wife is she can handle a lot of pain. So yeah, all that's at that moment, there's just a lot of unrest, feeling of insecurity. What happens if it doesn't work? And the test was pretty simple because in the massage room, it was, how do I feel? Every day, every minute could be a test. Like, is that move hurting me? Does that move make me feel okay? What happens when I do this? What happens if I lower my table? What happens if I raise my table? So all those kinds of things were immediate feedback, and that allowed me to stay in the moment and to be, okay, well, this is working a little bit, maybe this is not working. And after I had a little foothold, a little toehold, I started to, see that I could grab, take the next step. So it wasn't a process of, oh my God, I figured out, I've got the Holy Grail, I've come down from the mountain, I have the answer. It was more like, oh, that sort of works. Okay, that works, but this works better. or that works, but not in this situation. And it's became this accumulation of data information that helped me figure out my path, which is not necessarily your path or someone else's path. What I feel is that there's commonalities that you can try, strategies and techniques, and you just discard the ones that don't work for you, because we come in different sizes, different body types. We have different massage styles, and we also come into it with different conditions. I came into it with cubital tunnel syndrome, cervical radiculopathy, and some unstable shoulders. So, whereas I don't use my forearm to massage, a forearm's a great massage tool for a lot of massage therapists, but for me, no. So it was just the process of, and the secure feeling came when I was figuring stuff out and moving along and being like, okay, I can do more massage without being in pain. So yeah, in the beginning it was very scary, and then towards the end it was, okay, wow, this works. So
okay, and if I understand from what I read in the article and the conversations that we've had before, this took you approximately a year, is that right, of testing? And the testing is just kind of playing around with, I'm assuming, like you mentioned, the table height, different techniques, different massaging with different body parts and things like that. Was there a moment where you thought, this is very standard with massage therapists, was there a moment where you thought, well, I just need to do less clients, I just need to cut back?
absolutely, yeah. But the option was the bills were coming in. Do you know what I mean? All those kinds of things. Retirement's not funded. So that really was not an option for me, cutting back, unless I wanted to throw myself into something else. But at the time, I still felt that I could be productive and effective as a massage therapist. There was enough, in me. I still had something in the tank, But yeah, it was not. Getting to that point just took that constant experimentation in the massage room, and making those adjustments wasn't that complicated. It wasn't rocket science. It's basically like, how do I feel? Checking with my body. The trick is, to me, was checking with into how you're feeling with your, because we're so focused on making the person at the table feel good, which is important. That's primary. But if you don't take care of yourself in the massage room, you're not going to be taking care of the person at the massage table. So that was a hard psychological thing for me to traverse, was, okay, now I'm looking at myself and checking with myself. Is that okay? And the answer is yes. Like, I'm here to tell you, yes, you can do that. You can still do a good massage. You can still focus on the client, but you can also put your attention on yourself. And by that, it's just like you're coming into it going, again, I'm using my thumbs and now my one thumb hurts. Well, what if I barred my thumbs together? What if I put a thumb with a knuckle? So it's that kind of thing. And you're still being very sensitive to the client. You're just doing your experiment as you go along.
Right. What do you think about tools? For example, T-bars, or I know they have the Theragun and things like that. How do you feel about those? Do you think that someone should supplement by using those things? What's your opinion?
So I am a massage tool addict. So
Oh,
I have probably 20 or 30 massage tools, just hand massage tools, not the mechanical ones, though I'm not opposed to them either. So I go into the massage room with probably 8 tools, my favorite tools. And I have a security issue with, if I don't have my massage tool, I sort of freak out. So probably I use a massage tool in 95% of my massages. And I'm a strong advocate for massage tools. I think massage tools will not only save your fingers and thumbs, they also will save your upper body and neck if you learn how to lean with them, using your body weight to generate pressure instead of pushing with your upper body. And I just think, and you can use them in so many different ways. Once you get the basics, you can use them in a relaxation massage, practically any massage, and they're not they're scary at first because they're either a hunk of plastic or a chunk of wood, but
Yeah.
you know, there's ways to make them easier to use and to sensitize your, by having your fingers next to the massage tool, you can use that as your palpation tool, and you can also use that to stabilize the massage tool. So there's a lot of things you can do to make the massage tool easier to use and more practical.
Yeah, I remember I've been using T-bars for probably since the very beginning of my career. And when I first started using, well, when I was first introduced to them, I scoffed at them and I thought, oh, my
Right.
body is enough.
Right, right.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I do.
I'm a purist, and by no means is this to come down on anyone. It's just Mark and I are just sharing our experiences. I've been a therapist for 24 years. He's been a therapist for longer. So our goal really is to help massage therapists or give anyone out there who's interested in pursuing massage as a career, just, you know, hope. And but I remember using the tools for the first time, and after a while they kind of become part of you. It depends on the tool, but at least the ones with the wood, maybe because they were more natural, I just really enjoyed them. And they're just some areas that I can't, my fingers like can't get into,
Right.
especially when I'm working with, you know, smaller bones of the hands or the fingers or the ankle. So I don't feel like they cheapen the massage experience. It's just, it's a tool. It's an extension of
Right.
myself and my knowledge. And I know how to use it well. I don't use as many as you, but I'm so curious. I don't know if you have any laying around you, but if you do,
I'm
I would,
sorry, I don't. I just took them all to work because we have one of the massage therapists who works for us. I just started to teach her massage tools, and there's a round tip L bar that she really loves, and
yeah.
I'm going to get her one, but I haven't yet. So I always run back and drop off the tools for her. So, but yeah, no, there's just so many that you can use. I think what you said too is once you get used to that, they become an extension of you. And a lot of times when I'm teaching a massage tools class, I'll ask the person, is that my thumb or massage tool? Like, do that, is it or that's going to be too old if I say that, but is it real or live, or is it fake? And a lot of the times they can't tell if it's a massage tool, because especially if you have your other hand down there, it's sort of distracting, giving it giving it a different feel. So I don't, for me, it didn't come naturally learning how to use a massage tool. It took a lot of time, just because I didn't have a lot of training on how to make it feel part of the massage. I don't know, was your experience like that, or did you have a lot of training where?
It took a long time.
Yeah.
It took a long time and confidence, but it was just a kind of on the job training.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, I know that we had covered this before in a previous conversation. If you could share how many clients you're able to see a week, and that is calculating, for example, because I know some people do 90-minute sessions, 75-minute
Yeah.
sessions. So let's pretend that we're calculating by the hour. So how many hours, there's a better question. How many hours of hands-on massage therapy are you providing a week today after the revelation of, I can do this, I can continue my career and continue to help people?
Sure. So today I limit myself to 20 hours a week of massage, because not because of my body, but because of the other things I have going on, like the blog, building the business so that we want to expand our business, things like that. So there's a bunch of other things that I want to focus on in teaching. Before COVID, I was doing probably 30 hours a week on average. So, and not in not walking away feeling like, I'm done. So for me, um, I, I could do more. And I have done more than 30 hours a week, but comfortably 30 hours is not a problem. So, and that was with, again, massage tools were big in that work because I often do a lot of detail work, a lot of focus work, and that's why a lot of people come to me, because of the precise focused work. So, but that's like you said, that's only done through massage tools because I can't, my fingers are too big, or they just can't generate the pressure, or they hurt, and I don't want to push them into someone. So
Yeah. Let's go into teaching. You
sure.
mentioned a class, you mentioned your blog, you mentioned that you're a business owner. That is the aspiration of many massage therapists, not necessarily in that order or coupling those different types of platforms, but because of COVID, many massage therapists have explored teaching as an alternative form of income. What did that look like for you? When did you begin teaching? How was that transition and how did you get started?
Sure. So teaching was, teaching started for me out of training massage therapists for we had a on-site business, on-site massage business at one point. So we would have, maybe it was like 30 or 40 hotels in the area where we would provide on-site massage. So my goal was to formalize the training in a way that wasn't dogmatic, where I'm telling people exactly what to do, but just to give them guidelines so that they would, that they could do certain things, deliver the appropriate pressure. In other words, being able to work deep when they need to work deep, or being sensitive enough to not work too deep if they didn't need to work too deep. So those kinds of things were the beginning of the creation of classes, because I was creating this information for the people that were working for us. And then it was just natural to go, well, that seems practical advice. So why don't, I make a class out of that? And the massage tools class, that came a little bit later. That came more towards as I was doing the experiment, because as I was learning more of like how this works for me, I was extrapolating that and trying to do experiments with other people, with other massage therapists. Like, is that massage tool too big for your hand? Why isn't that working? Is the stem too long? So that's developed in that process of trying to stay out of pain while massaging. So those are my basic courses that I teach are massage tools and delivering deep pressure. So that it's my core curriculum is that how to keep a massage therapist out of pain. That's really what I like teaching. And to me, it was sort of organic. It just sort of grew out of my experience. I know other people develop courses or they may have a wide range, and that's fine too. But for me, it's specifically, if I don't feel some kind of energy, juice, passion, whatever you want to call it, about the topic or about what I'm teaching, it doesn't really go anywhere. So that's why, I just tend to focus on those things because that's what gets me going.
Yeah, I can relate to that just to get that motivation. So if a massage therapist wanted to teach, you would really advise to hunker down on a topic or a modality that really fuels them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess I would say it could be different for other people. Other people may be more of a generalist where they can look at something and be, okay, I can write information about this and I can deliver that information. It's going to be helpful. But for me, there has to be some kind of hook into my life, into my story, into, what I do, my experience. So for me, if someone's like me, I would definitely say, yeah, go with what you're interested in, what feels right, what is moving you at the moment. The hard thing for that is that sometimes that changes for me, and I'm like the cat, chasing the ball of string. There's something over there that I like, and there's something over there that I like. So my challenge is staying focused on what is is what I'm passionate about now instead of what I'm going to be passionate about tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mark, being in the industry for so long, did you ever think anything like COVID would happen? I don't think anybody did, but you have a long history. So I mean, we're in a touch-based personal service industry. How did it rock your world professionally, personally, if you want to share, like what was going through your mind? Were you shut down at one point? What were the legalities around your area? What did that
Yeah.
feel like for you?
Well, it's interesting because, since we've been doing it for a while, you and I have been doing it for a while, we went through 9/11, we went through stock market crash. So a lot of times ebbs and flows in the market, and massage was sometimes down, sometimes up, the industry and as a whole. So going into COVID, I had, like most people, I had no idea what was happening. I just, I knew that, hey, they're shutting, this county down, and we had a massage therapist who worked in that county, so he couldn't come in, and we had like one more week before we were shut down totally. And we're going, okay, well, I guess it's going to be a couple weeks, maybe. Well, we don't know because it looks pretty bad out there, but let's hope for a couple weeks. And then, well, wait a second, if you can't work, how do you get paid? And we all went through this, right? Not knowing that there's going to be any money coming in. And then eventually things worked out. There's unemployment. There was things that supported us as we were shut down for, in our case, I think it was like 3 months in PA. And, going back to work to me was one of the more challenging and fearful events because, there's no vaccine. Masks were getting to be, okay, yeah, you should wear a mask, and probably, just keep the room ventilated. So you went back in there not knowing who has COVID, right? Whether you have COVID. Testing was horrible where we were. There was like, you get a test back in a week and a half. What's the point? And I don't think there's any rapid testing back there. It was so inaccurate that it was, then you have to get the other test, which it would take too long. So going back was nerve-wracking, for one, because my wife, Lisa, ended up getting COVID early on in April of 2020. And back then, it was almost, if you went to the hospital, you're probably going to die. It was that kind of thing where there was no antibody treatment. There was nothing like that. And they would say, just watch your symptoms. Well, if you didn't have an oximeter, your blood oxygen could be very low. And by the time you get to the hospital, too late. So she had a moderate case of it, but she's a long hauler. So she's got long haul symptoms from that still to this day. So going back was nerve-wracking to me because I didn't want to get COVID and bring it back. I don't want to give it to my clients. I didn't want to bring it back. So I became, as with my tools, I became an N95 addict, manic. I'd have an N95 on. So I bought a bunch of N95s. I put that on, then I put a disposable on for over top of that for each client. I had an air purifier. I opened the windows. It was okay in the summertime, but I was freezing my clients out because I didn't care. I wasn't giving COVID. I wasn't spreading COVID. I wasn't getting COVID, So that's what I did. And I had a couple cases where I was exposed in the massage room where the person would come back and say, hey, I had COVID. I just got, and so I would shut down for the 14 days, whatever it needed to be, but I never got COVID during those times. And I think, I can only say, I don't know exact causality or the reason, but I would say that the protection that I was using, the N95 and the mask over that, with the circulation, saved me. So, once things started to shake out, and like everyone else, right, your business went up and down with each wave, and a lot of people dropped out. So I was starting to see clients coming from other people who have dropped out of massage, which helped us through. we were in a really bad position in terms of our building. Our building, as our clients will tell you, was not in good shape. But we had to stick it out through COVID, and then we made a move recently in August to a place we love being at. So we had to do a lot of decision making, like how do we, spend the least amount of money. We raised our price also to cover all our the expenses. We put more time in between clients to clean. And so we had to pass that on to our clients, and they were fine with it. So that's how we survived COVID. And now we're doing pretty good, but I still think the industry as a whole is down. I still don't think people are coming in like how they were pre-COVID. So we're not feeling the full force of, massage being back 100%. But I'm optimistic. It seems like it's getting steady. So was
Can
that?
you, it does. That's a great explanation. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry that your wife had to go through that. That must have been scary.
It was scary. Yeah, it was the kind of thing where you're just like looking the whole time. I didn't isolate or anything like that because I think I probably did have COVID, because I don't know how I couldn't have COVID, but I was tested negative. But yeah, that again, that's why my emphasis is like, I'm always going to mask up in the massage room, just out of precautions,
Yeah, I agree. I think that masks, although they cause quite a bit of pollution, it's something that I feel a lot better in the massage room, even, in the future, because it's really incredible. And for any person that's watching this, that's a client of massage therapy and really loves to get massage, I know it's not the ideal situation to
Right.
have a mask on. But if you really think about the amount of air exchange that you are around your therapist, especially when you're in a face up position, what we call supine, when you're doing a lot of deep breathing, which could be typical in a massage therapy session, either
Yeah.
your therapist could have a mask on, you could have a mask on, but there's a lot of molecules. There's a lot of stuff floating around,
Yeah.
a lot of breathing, a lot of talking sometimes, depending on the type of session. So I think moving forward in the massage industry, and also anything that really requires, obviously there are some professions like dentists, you have to have your mouth open, but
Yeah.
they have their masks on, and they've had it on. So I think it's a good precaution. I'm hoping that for the environment, we can find a better solution
Yeah.
that's breathable. But either way, was it hard for you to raise your prices? I know that a lot of massage therapists struggle with that. Did you ever have any hesitancy doing that? How did you communicate that to your clientele?
Strangely, no. I usually do, but in this case, I didn't, because I felt survival depended upon that. And I would write about that in the blog. That was part of my strategy for surviving and then thriving post-COVID. I felt that I just felt, I don't know, entitled is not the right word, but I felt maybe I was a little delusional in my thinking, but I was, if we couldn't find a middle ground, then I wasn't willing to do it any longer at that high risk of what I perceived as a high risk. So this is what we're doing. We're cleaning, we're disinfecting, we're adding air purifiers, we're masking up, we're spending more time in between clients, we're opening the windows. If you can't meet us, and our business is down, by the way, so we have more expenses and our business is down. So if you can't meet us here, then we don't have a good partnership. Partnership's not the right word, but we don't have a good arrangement, I guess is a better word. So that was my thinking, and I was a little bit angry about it, to be honest. This is it. I was draconian in a way, because I raised even people that were wait, like some people had, you know how you have your clients who've been with you forever, and you have maybe a special discount for them because they've been, and you just haven't done it. They became friends, or, there's one of those people where you haven't. They all went up. So, and some of them were like a $20 jump. But almost everyone except for a couple select, I didn't raise the price on, or I may only raise $5 instead of, getting to our normal price and our new price would have been 20, 25. But a lot of them I did because I was willing for them to walk at that point. If we couldn't make it financially, I would rather go out and find a client who would be willing to pay what we needed to make, as opposed to have someone who's not willing to pay it, who's been a client for 20 years. That's what it came down to. I was willing to try to go find a client, dig one up from somewhere, from some massage therapist who had quit during COVID, So that was my thinking.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
How, for those people that may be watching that love getting massage, or maybe had a poor experience, or exploring, they're just not really familiar with the different types of techniques, and how would you describe your massage sessions? Do you mind sharing your price point and kind
Sure.
of helping the public understand the difference between what you do, not necessarily to justify the price, but to give them, I feel like oftentimes the public doesn't they see price points and they see different types of massage styles or techniques, but how would you explain to someone for the first time that's maybe accustomed to going to a franchise, let's say, and getting a relaxation massage, and there's definitely a time and a place for that, but that's kind of the layout that they're familiar with. How would you explain work that you do, the price point behind that, the education, the credentials, or another therapist that kind of has similar training and background?
Yeah, those are all really good questions. And so for mine, I'm going to break it down this way. So we have people working for us, and then we have myself and my wife Lisa in it too. So we don't differentiate between us when people come in. I don't take really new clients now on occasion because I don't want any more in my book, but they don't know that I have 25 years more experience than someone else, or 20 years more experience. We will funnel them if it's like a particular case that maybe I have, maybe my skill set is more geared for them, or another therapist's skill set is geared for them. We will funnel them like that way. So our price points are all the same. I mean, for every therapist, so we don't differentiate. We do have, similar to like a franchise massage, we don't do memberships, but we do have an introductory price. I like the introductory price because I think it gets people in the door. And I learned that one time working for a franchise spa, and I watched them do that. And they also did a Groupon, which was very effective. This was a while ago. This was like 7 or 8 years ago. And it was just a percentage game. It's the more people you get through your door, the bigger chance you have, or the bigger number you have that you can convert. So if you have 100 people walking through the door, I don't want to do math here, but if you have 100 people walking through the door and you get a 1% conversion, you get 1, right? If you have 1,000, you get 10. So it's that kind of idea. So that I really like the intro, and we have signage where we're at too. So that allows us along the road, we can really pull people in that way. Also on our Google My Business page, we can advertise it that way too. So our price point for massage, so we have a $60 is our intro, and then our normal 60-minute massage is $80. We don't have any kind of breakdown in terms of, deep pressure is not an add-on. It's all just included in. I don't know if that's more of a business decision or just a personal decision. I always felt like, well, what's deep pressure? define it. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, is this $2 more, or this is $5 more? You know what I mean? It becomes, I don't know, very complicated, I think. And I think people appreciate the fact that they can come in and get any type of massage and it's the same price. We don't do hot stones. We're not a spa. So we do pain relief massage. We do relaxation massage. Every massage therapist has their own take on it, but all massage therapists can deliver the right pressure, the appropriate pressure. All massage therapists communicate with a client. All massage therapists can coordinate care if they need to be with if they want to coordinate care with a physical therapist or physician. So those are our basic elements with that. And then for a 90-minute massage, it's $110. And then for half an hour massage, it's $40 now, but it should be $45. I have a client who's been telling me we should raise our prices now because we moved into a nicer place. But also he says that inflation's happening, it's starting to happen. And if you don't raise your price now, you're going to be caught in that murky middle where inflation is going to be really high. You're going to try to raise your price during inflation, and people are not going to go for it.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so he's been really pushing me on that.
all these decisions to make. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely, so when people come to see you, let everybody know, where can they find you? Like if I Google you right now, where are you? How is it? What's it under? What's the name of your business?
The business is pressureperfectmassage.com. So it's pressureperfectmassage.com. How
did you come up with that name?
Because interesting is that when I was teaching massage therapists, it seemed to come down to pressure. What the complaints I got most were like it wasn't the right pressure. Most of the time it wasn't deep enough, but sometimes it wasn't the appropriate pressure. So then to me, my massage style became about the pressure, like finessing the nuances of pressure. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it here. Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
That's us.
So pressure perfect massage. Okay, awesome. Do you want to share with any massage therapists classes, or what are your goals for the future? What would you like to, I mean, this is open for you. So I believe that you authored a book or articles, or share with us what you've published and what classes are coming up for you.
Sure. So, okay, I could do a shameless plug. I will.
Well, it's not that shameless because I kind of invited you.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is the book. So I just happen to have it here. So I wrote this in August, I believe July, August. And it's called The Pain-Free Massage Therapist. It has everything that I did, my strategies and techniques to massage pain-free. I'm a firm believer in do-it-yourself things. And I want to write a book that allowed the massage therapist to do it, to take the book into the massage room and to actually apply and test out and decide what works for that person or not. I also put a website together called Pain-Free Massage Therapist that has videos on it, so that correspond to some of the chapters and some of the information in the book, so that the person can go to their.
I'm going to go to that right now. Pain-Free Massage Therapist. Yeah, there it is. And so yes, this website has videos on it. Yeah, this is the one that I saw. Yep.
Resources, YouTube. Right. So that the idea is like you can do it yourself. Like you can get a book, and I love that's what I love about books. You should be able to do it, and that was the goal with it. So that together, hopefully, can get the massage therapist moving in the right direction and figuring out what it is he or she needs to do to massage pain-free. So that's my big emphasis right now. I do have some classes that I have online classes. COVID made me shift a lot of my classes to online. So I have delivering deep pressure without hurting yourself. I have a massage tools. I call it how to use a massage tool effectively and fearlessly. And another one called advanced massage tools. And they're sort of the combination package that support the book, The Pain-Free Massage Therapist, if someone wanted to do that. And that's actually on the website.
Our therapist, yeah, I'm taking a look at it. So it's painfreemassagetherapist.com. I'm taking a look at the videos right now. I see a tool, so
Yep.
that's good. Our therapists are you doing live classes at all in person?
I am starting where I'm busy with a bunch of projects right now, but I'm starting to move in that direction. And I'm going to start teaching locally, probably here in this area, in the Philadelphia area. Eventually I would like to get back to teaching across the country. We were in Seattle in 2018, I think it was. So eventually I'd like to get back to that point, but it's not quite there yet in terms of reading the landscape and saying, I think I'm just going to start locally, see how it goes, see if people are coming out for the live classes.
Yeah, I think people will. It's just
Yeah.
massage it's a touch industry.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so just to wrap up, give me 3 for those that wish to pursue massage therapy as a career, which in my personal opinion, I believe that a lot of people should, especially if you're going into tech. I feel that the more time we spend in a sedentary position, there should be an alternate career that allows you to touch and allows you to engage with people. I just to have a healthy balance, but that is my opinion. If we could recruit everyone from tech to go into massage therapy, I feel that body postures would be better, more health awareness. But given the lifespan that you've had in your career, name 3 pros about being a massage therapist and 3 cons.
Okay. Before I do that, can I just circle back to what you were saying about techs should have, people who are in the technical world should have massage?
Of course.
Back when there was not licensing, I would go to like a corporation, we do chair massage, and people in the corporation wanted to learn how to do massage. So I would teach them, and they'd actually become massage therapists for us because you didn't have to, there's no licensing at that point. But you hit the nail on the head. They loved it. They loved they were desired that touch part, the connection part, and they felt the effects of it, how wonderful it was. So they were the best students because they were all in because they needed it the most.
Yeah.
So the 3 pros of massage for me are pretty easy. One is the flexibility of it. The flexible schedule has allowed me to do a lot of things that I want to do in life, to start other businesses, to travel, to write, to just a family life, to restructure my day, move clients around, not having to go in at a certain time, choosing the time. That's one of the biggest for me is the flexibility, and the autonomy of it is another big one. I as we were talking about before, I don't like working for other people. I've tried it. I'm really bad at it. Sometimes I even get fired because I'm so bad at it. So that is huge. Like every time I think about, massage allows you to be autonomous, allows you to move how you want to move. Wow, there's a lot. The other thing is just the connection with people. I love that part too. Sometimes I don't understand that I love that part. Sometimes I miss that. I take it for granted, basically. But then when I'm away from it, I'm realizing, wow, that's a really powerful feeling to go into a massage room and to help someone and collect a smiley face afterwards. Someone's happy. Like how many jobs do you go to where people walk away and they're happy with what you did? Well, that's, massage, every now and then you get to have a bad massage, but most of the time everyone's happy. So that's a great positive feeling. And if you want the contrast, go work for someone else for a while and see what happens, So those are the big ones for me that I really love about massage. I also like the fact that you can make a decent amount of money quickly too. Like in one day, you can load your schedule up, and there you go. Like there's a lot. There's there's security in that, knowing that you can one day you should, well, all you have to do is go to your massage room and do massage and you can make money. The downsides for me were like, if you don't have your business worked out, there's a lot of ups and downs. Once you get your business worked out, then you can end that so that you can have a steady flow of people. But that throws you in another position where you either have to hire somebody or you have to work a lot. So, but that in the beginning, the ups and downs is a tough one. The other thing is that you have to, when you're working for yourself, if you're working for yourself, then there's health insurance, all the other kinds of insurance that you're buying, that you're not getting all the perks for working for a corporation. So you're perkless. You don't have those kinds of things. So you have to figure that out yourself. That's definitely a challenge with massage. And the other thing was before was the body part, where you're using your body constantly. If you don't know how to figure that out, you're going to compromise yourself in your daily life, because you'll be cutting out things that you normally do. Like if you play guitar and your hands hurt, you're probably not going to be playing guitar or playing a sport. So it has those challenges with your body that I think can be a potential downside until you figure out what's going on with that. What else? The other kinds of things. I do think it depends also how much money you want to make, because you will ultimately be limited in what you're willing to do or what interests you enough. Let's say you can do 30 massages a week and you have a business that can do that, that can produce that's your limit, unless you hire somebody else or unless you have something else, another stream of income coming in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That may be where you want to be, but if you want to make more money, then you're going to have to do something else. So those are my pros and cons. How about you? Do you have a?
Yes, I have a huge con. It's called laundry. They do not prepare you in this at all. Well, I would have to say okay, so I'm going to start with the cons because I want to end with the pros. How about that?
Yeah, great. Good.
So I would say the cons are that there's not enough mentorship. When I graduated in 97, I still 20 years plus later, I'm coming across, thankfully, new massage therapists. They're maybe a year old into the profession, and there's still this lack of mentorship after school. I don't know if it's that way with other professions. I know, when you go to school, you kind of graduate and everybody has their own lives and everything like that. But I would love for there to be more unity in the massage profession. I would love for there to be more, because massage is a very isolated field. Right. You work alone in a room, one-on-one. And if you allow yourself, unless you're very intentional, if you allow yourself, you can just kind of stay in this very isolated, dark room, right. Just one-on-one, one right after the other. And my room has beautiful natural sunlight, which I adore. Yeah. But it's something that you have to be really, really intentional about networking. So I do see a shift in the past 5 to 10 years with the internet. Mark and I can say that because we were around when it came around.
Right, exactly.
And the internet and social media has unified the massage therapy industry, but I would love for there to be more localized mentorship. So for newer massage therapists, even just to come under the wing of other massage therapists and say, hey, what do I do when this happens with a client? What do I do when this happens? Kind of similar, there's a similar format under SCORE with the Small Business Administration, similar to that. So I think that is needed for there to be a sense of longevity in the field. And then also you can see other therapists that have been around for a while, and for people that really love it, I think it's great. So that's one. Yeah, laundry is horrible. If you choose to work with laundry, not everybody does. You can
Right.
work in a medical office, you can have disposable paper, you don't have to work with sheets and linens. But if you are charging a certain amount and if you create a certain ambiance, some clients love the feel of sheets, right?
Right. Exactly.
So I would say the amount of laundry that you will have to transport, fold, wash. At this point, I have mine professionally laundered because I just can't.
Right.
Um, which it's an investment, but it's a business cost, which I feel that a lot of um, it's not really talked about too much,
Yeah.
but it is a huge part, huge part of your business costs. And then the other thing is financial literacy and tax information. I If you choose to become self-employed as a massage therapist, or even if you choose to work for others, what does that look like for you? And a real emphasis when you go to school for massage therapy in the classroom, a breakdown of business costs, a breakdown of just a very basic tax class,
Right.
and making the transition from employee to self-employed is enormous. It's a huge mental shift.
Right.
And if you're not accustomed to it, it's a whole new world. So understanding how to manage your finances well, and speaking about money, speaking about, setting your prices, things like that. I think what gets a lot of glory is marketing and advertising because it's sexy and it's
Right.
exciting, but you should be really strong in your numbers. So I really wish that that was a part of the essential training in massage therapy school, because so many massage therapists you know do seek
Yeah.
to become self-employed once they graduate. The pros are the engagement with people. If you are a people person and if you draw your energy from helping people, if that is something that's innate within you and you really enjoy it, whether you got paid for it or not, it's part of your personality, you will love massage therapy. You'll love it. It can be as quiet as you need. It can be as engaging conversationally as you need. You will serve people in a way where you see immediate results, almost immediate, not with every
Right.
case, but yeah, I agree with you. My second one is the occupation. It has a huge job satisfaction. It's extremely rewarding. Rarely do I know of any occupation where people are thrilled to see you. I mean, I have my
Right.
clients that are like giddy to see me, and I'm like, what is the big deal? But then I go get a massage and I'm like, oh, I get it. I mean, it's so cool
Yeah.
to have people that are excited, genuinely excited to see you. And you just don't get that with a lot
No.
of professions. Um, and I think the other part is, yeah, the livability in terms of, yes, you do have a ceiling of how much you can make, and but also you can earn a decent amount of money. Once you mentioned, if you know how to work and things like that, and move your body and massage pain free. I don't know of too many, especially now, with these times, or we're in a gig economy, so everyone's kind of looking for, the income has shifted. People are seeking, a higher income, but right now, $25 an hour is seen as like pretty good. But in massage, you can make a lot more. So the fact that you can go into the barrier is relatively low still compared to a 4-year university or
Oh,
medical school or anything like that. So if it calls to you and you have that raw talent and you have people that have just said, wow, you have that touch cannot be taught. That
right.
touch is in you. You're born with it. You're born with that capacity, and you just have to develop it. So I just think it's a really like livable, monetary wise profession. If you're able to, look at your numbers and say, okay, yes, I can see this many people, and et cetera, et cetera. So those are my pros and cons.
But they're good. Yeah. And the way you stated some of them really hit home, and I feel like especially the job satisfaction one, and, there's no other, like, substitute for that. People are happy to see you. That's what you said. People are happy to see you. And it's true. Like, as a tax collector, not so happy to see you, are they? No.
No, even though you help people, but they're
Right.
I'm not happy to see you. Or even nurses that are wonderful,
Oh,
doctors that are wonderful, there's fear. There's like, oh, do I have a
right.
life-threatening illness? You're injecting something into me. I'm
Right.
grateful to you, but I don't want to be here.
Right. Right.
In the massage room, you want to be there, like you're excited.
Right.
So anyway, Mark, thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for being an example for longevity in the massage therapy career. I want people to reach out to you, ask you questions and things like that. So please share where people can either email you, find you on social media, or visit your website and drop you a message. Whatever contact information would be helpful, please share.
Okay. So I'm going to be pretty simple because I'm not great with social media. So if you just want to email me anytime, any questions, that's fine. The best email to reach me at is mark@makethemostofmassage.com. So makethemostofmassage.com. You can also reach me at painfreemassagetherapist.com too. But
yes, and that's Mark with a K.
It's with a K. Yes. And you can, like I said, anytime, I'm happy to answer questions, talk on the phone, whatever. So, and I
Yes.
agree with you about the mentorship. I think a lot has been lost with the jobs itself. Back when we were starting out, if I was working in a chiropractor's office, people would stay. But if you're working in a massage spa, people go, all the experience goes. It's constantly turned over because no one really stays that long there. So I don't think you get that. I think early on we had more of it. We didn't have enough of it, but I think there was more of that camaraderie, and you could find other massage therapists that, you could pull from. So, but I appreciate being, part of the mentorship, and I appreciate you being part of the mentorship. So
Thank you, Mark.
yeah.
All right. Best of luck to you. I hope your classes skyrocket. And I hope you do teach locally, because I love hands-on work. I know it's like traveling, but get to explore new places.
Oh, we
Anyway,
love
Mark,
to, yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for
Have
having
a
me.
wonderful day. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.